Are you sick and tired of playing dumb, stupid, boring games like Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, and Battlefield? Do you cry in the shower every single day? Do you go to work or school, walking through life like it's a faint mist, as if you're not really there, watching your youth slip away from your fingers? Maybe your youth is long gone and you spend your nights wishing you could reclaim that spark that has been missing since your childhood. Well then, let me introduce you to Super Mario Galaxy. It's beautiful. That was really bad fake crying, by the way. I don't... Super Mario Galaxy, the game of many a childhood. Oh boy. It's been a while since this game came out, and after the Wii U died out, many of the new gamers of the Switch era weren't able to experience this game. However, this game did get a Switch port with the 35th anniversary of Super Mario. I just want to say to anyone who's played this game on Switch, how dare you? This game should only be experienced on the original hardware that it was made for. I will be playing this on the Wii U. While the Switch version is a good port of the game, I'll be basing some of my points with regards to controls off of the way the Wii controls work. Wii Remote and Nunchuck only. For anyone saying I need to experience this on just the original Wii to really experience the true game, no. The Wii U displays Wii games beautifully, and both of my Wii U consoles are being used as bookends right now because they don't work. This is all a part of the current series I'm doing called Anything at All, where I talk about literally anything at all. Within this series, we have the Did It Age Well sub-series, where I ask the question, did it age well? I'm going to stop beating around the bush now and actually make my case. This introduction still gets me every time. It's not the Mario face from 64 or the funny intro cutscene from Sunshine, but this menu screen perfectly showcases what is amazing about this game, and that is its beauty, which is a word I wouldn't give to very many Mario games. Even getting into the actual game, the epic nature is immediately made apparent with a cutscene that's way too intense for any Mario game. Now, I've had many conversations with my friends about how important resolution is, but for me personally, I do not care. This is the first thing you could say doesn't age well, but I think that really has no impact on the graphical beauty of the game. The pristine look, improved shadows, and immaculate designs of not only Mario but the worlds he explores makes it an extreme graphical jump up from Sunshine. And you have to keep in mind, the GameCube and Wii were basically equally powerful. You could say the Wii has some improvements, but for the slight power increase, we see a night and day graphical upgrade. Art style is clearly very important here. And yes, it doesn't look as good as Odyssey, but I think it has more of a unique look. Everything feels more vibrant, colors are more saturated, and designs feel more tangible. Everything has a weight to it that I feel like Odyssey doesn't have in the same way. But that heftiness Mario has could also be due to the different control scheme. First, let me get this out of the way. The actual movements of Mario feel great. Everything has a perfect amount of weight and fluidity. It's all you could ask for out of a Mario game. Odyssey has a distinctly bouncy and light feel that suits the game well, but for the heavy themes of space and gravity in this game, I like how much more grounded Mario feels. But these controls are weird. I don't think the controls are any better necessarily on the Switch. It's all about the motion controls and having one controller in one hand and another in the other. That's the big thing going back and playing this game reminds me of, which is how weird this thing is. I mean, look at it. It's long, it's ugly, it's not like the other controllers on the schoolyard. Now, this would be a problem if it was like the 50,000 other games from the Wii, done by people who didn't care if the game was janky, they just pooped out some controls in a way that worked and called it a day. But oddly enough, with Super Mario Galaxy, I didn't feel like this odd layout was a problem. It never detracted from my experience. The big new move for Mario in this game is the iconic spin jump. It doesn't matter which direction you spin the controller, it will spin. This simple application of an important mechanic is what separates it from other Wii games of the time. I'm looking at you, Skyward Sword, come on. So, do I think the controls have aged poorly? No, not at all. You might not like that you have two halves of the controller being held separately in that there's a cord dangling between them, but as for me, I don't mind it much, although you could technically, I guess, count it as maybe a downside compared to modern controller layouts. But with the way the controls were implemented and the way the mechanics work and everything in the game, it really makes you feel like you're Mario. What about the music? Oh yeah, this music is possibly the greatest any Mario game has seen. And yes, I'm saying this as a Sunshine fanboy. I'm sorry, I know a lot of people like to pit these Mario games against each other and compare every last little detail, but if we're doing that, the music category has to go to Galaxy. Every piece is perfectly fitting for each level, and the sound varies from sweeping orchestral themes to synthesized Mario goodness to quiet ambient sounds made from who knows what. Everything works beautifully. Now, one problem I've noticed with some GameCube and Wii games is that the composition and execution of the music is fantastic, but they compress the crap out of the files to make it fit on the disc. So, does Mario Galaxy do this? No. Haven't you picked up on it by now? Every single part of this game is perfectly executed. No, but in all seriousness, for the sheer number of tracks in this game, they did a fantastic job with minimal compression, barely noticeable playing on the Wii and through a TV speaker. I assumed they knew how important the soundtrack would be for this game and didn't want to do anything to get in the way of the impact the music brings to the experience. This is the third point that gives credence to the main thesis of this video, which is that Super Mario Galaxy has aged extremely well for being well over 15 years old at this point. Compared to other games that came out at the time, Mario Galaxy stands apart as being graphically timeless compared to these other games that were aiming for more realism. Let me be clear, that's not a bad thing in the case of those games. There are some great games that still do this. However, it is a point in Mario Galaxy's favor. No matter how many years go by, this game will still look beautiful. The only thing really holding it back was the resolution of the screens it was made for. But again, I personally don't care much about resolutions. Mario Galaxy also boasts a timeless soundtrack that sees very little compression done to it, really allowing each track to shine without sounding like it was all smushed down and sounds like garbage, you know what I'm saying? Here, I'll play you an example. The only thing really holding this game back from the modern era of gaming that we see today is the control scheme. While I do enjoy it, looking at it objectively, yeah, okay, it's understandable. It can be a little awkward at times. In conclusion, did Super Mario Galaxy age well? Yes. And again, for all the Switch players, I was messing around earlier. I really don't care what console you play it on, whether it's Wii U, Wii, Switch, it doesn't matter. The fact that you've been able to experience this classic is fantastic. It's great that they made it available for people on Switch, even though that got taken away for some odd reason. But did the original game age well? Yes. I don't know why I said that twice in the span of like 20 seconds, but who said I was great at making scripts, right? Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, you can check out the other videos that I've done in this series, where I literally talk about whatever I feel like. So that's cool if you like hearing me ramble. Click this video somewhere over on this side of the screen. If you want to check out some of the music I've made, hop over to this side of the screen. Just released new songs. They have that jazzy Nintendo vibe to them. So if you're interested in that kind of music, or you just love Nintendo music, these songs that I just released really were inspired by a lot of Nintendo songs. So you might like them. Check them out if you're interested. That's all from me. See you in the next video. Peace out.